Welcome to Inside British Royals. This is your exclusive look inside the world's most famous family. We are exploring the scandals, secrets, and power plays that define the modern monarchy. If you are new here, please do well to hit that subscribe button for more updates. In the glittering but lonely world of the British monarchy, two women found a rare and powerful ally in each other. Princess Diana and Sarah Ferguson, or Fergie, weren't just sisters-in-law. They were partners in crime, confidants, and maybe the only two people on the planet who truly understood the pressure of marrying into the House of Windsor. Their bond seemed unbreakable, built on shared laughter and playful rebellion. But then, it all fell apart. A single, almost trivial passage in Fergie's 1996 memoir would shatter their friendship. For the last year of her life, Diana refused to speak to the woman she once called her best friend. The rift was never repaired, a silent tragedy that haunted Fergie long after Diana was gone. So what was this unforgivable betrayal? What line was crossed that could end a friendship that had survived scandals, divorce, and the relentless glare of the world's media? Princess Diana and Sarah Ferguson were more than sisters-in-law. They were partners in crime who understood the suffocating pressures of royal life like no one else. Their bond seemed unbreakable. But a single passage in Sarah's memoir, one seemingly innocent detail, would shatter their friendship forever. Diana would never speak to her again. What was this unforgivable betrayal that remained unresolved until the day Diana died? Before they were royalty, they were just Diana Spencer and Sarah Ferguson. And their connection wasn't a product of royal matchmaking. It went way back. The two were actually fourth cousins, and their mothers had gone to school together. They knew each other as teenagers, but their real friendship kicked off in 1980. Diana, just 19 years old, was trying to navigate the strange new world of dating Prince Charles. Fergie, 2 years older, became her go-to person. They started having weekly lunches, bonding over shared friends and inside jokes. When Diana got engaged, she invited Fergie to the wedding and even gave her fabric for a dress. As Diana struggled with the isolation of life inside Buckingham Palace, she leaned on Fergie more and more. She'd call, and Fergie would rush to the palace to cheer her up. Sarah was a breath of fresh air, a connection to the normal life Diana had left behind. In her autobiography, Fergie wrote, "She was 2 years younger than I, and I strove to support and protect her as I would a younger sister, as I still do today, as a best friend." It was actually Diana who played matchmaker for Fergie. In 1985, she convinced the Queen to invite Sarah to a dine and sleep event at Windsor Castle, making sure she was seated right next to Prince Andrew. A romance sparked, and Diana acted as their chaperone, inviting the new couple to her country home, Highgrove, to keep them away from the press. As Fergie started her own royal journey, Diana was her guide. She lent her clothes and offered tips on how to handle the wall of photographers. Fergie remembered being terrified at one of her first royal events. "Just keep smiling," Diana whispered, she wrote. And I did. I always felt safe in mimicking Diana. When Sarah Ferguson married Prince Andrew in 1986, the duo was complete. Now there were two of them inside the palace walls, and they became famous for bringing a dose of fun and mischief to the stuffy monarchy. Their antics became legendary. At Ascot, they were criticized by the press for playfully poking a friend with their umbrellas. On a ski trip, Prince Charles was reportedly annoyed when they started mock fighting in the snow during a photo call. But their most infamous stunt was Fergie's bachelorette party. The story goes that for a final night of fun, Fergie and Diana dressed up as police officers. They tried to get into a private club in London, but a waiter politely told them, "Excuse me, this is a members' club, and we don't serve police officers here." Though some tales claim they were arrested and put in a police van, what's certain is that they caused a stir and shared a rebellious sense of humor. Diana nicknamed Sarah Fergie, while Sarah called Diana Dutch, a private joke that sealed their unique bond. They leaned on each other, vacationing with their kids, and keeping up their regular lunches. Fergie's bubbly personality was a comfort to Diana, who often struggled with the weight of her role. As Fergie later said, "Diana was my best friend and the funniest person I knew. It was a total joy to be with her, because we just laughed, and enjoyed life so much. But the fun couldn't last. The same pressures that brought them together soon started to drive them apart. A quiet rivalry began to simmer, fed by insecurity and the constant comparisons in the newspapers. Fergie was a natural horsewoman and loved country sports, which made it easy for her to bond with the Queen and Prince Philip. She even got her pilot's license. This was something Diana, more of an urban girl, reportedly envied. She admitted to her biographer Andrew Morton that Fergie wooed everybody in this family and did it so well. She left me looking like dirt. Diana even said that Prince Charles once told her, "I wish you would be like Fergie, all jolly." On the other hand, Fergie felt that Diana was the one who had it all. She saw her sister-in-law as more beautiful, more stylish, and far more loved by the public. This tension grew into what one friend called an ongoing battle. They started competing for headlines. The friend claimed they would compare press coverage of their charity trips, complaining if the other got more positive attention. Their rivalry even spilled into their charity work. Diana, who had pioneered AIDS awareness within the royal family, was reportedly furious when Sarah became involved with a similar charity. Friends claimed they would sometimes leak stories about each other to journalists, using the press as a weapon in their quiet fight for the spotlight. The year 1992 was a turning point. Within months of each other, both Diana and Fergie separated from their husbands. For a moment, it brought them closer. They vacationed together in the south of France with their children, two single moms figuring out what was next. But the reunion didn't last. The final blow to their friendship was about to be struck, and it would come from Fergie herself. In November 1996, Fergie published her autobiography, My Story. She needed an income and a way to tell her side of things after years of scandal. But Fergie did mention her. And it wasn't just that. She included one small, personal, and to Diana, deeply humiliating detail. In a passage about their friendship, Fergie wrote that Diana had generously given her several pairs of shoes. Then she added the line, and, less happily, her plantar warts. A verruca, a common foot wart. To the rest of the world, it was just a weird, trivial detail. But to Diana, it was an unthinkable betrayal. As biographer Tina Brown wrote, "Goddesses don't get warts." For a woman who had carefully built an image of glamour and perfection to survive the public eye, this was a crude and embarrassing exposure. It turned a private imperfection into a public joke. Diana was furious. She felt used. While the exact reason for their split was debated for years, Diana's former butler, Paul Burrell, confirmed it was the revelations in the book. The friendship was over. From that moment on, Diana cut Fergie out of her life completely. For the last year of Diana's life, there was only silence between them. Fergie was heartbroken and confused. She later said she struggled to understand the depth of Diana's anger over the passage, admitting that once Diana got something in her head, it stuck there for a while. She wrote letters, desperate to make things right. "I wrote letters, thinking whatever happened didn't matter. Let's sort it out," she recalled. But she got no response. Diana wouldn't budge. Then, the unthinkable happened. On August 31st, 1997, Diana was killed in a car crash in Paris. The chance to reconcile was gone forever. Their argument, which started over something so small, was now cast in the giant shadow of her death. There is one last, heartbreaking piece to this story. Fergie has said that the day before the fatal crash, a mutual friend told her Diana had been asking for her. She rang a friend of mine and said, "Where's that Red? I want to talk to her." Red was one of Diana's nicknames for Fergie, but that call was never made. They never got to speak again. Sarah attended Diana's funeral, mourning a friend she had lost twice. The weight of their unresolved fight has stayed with her. "I think about her most days," Sarah said in a 2021 interview, her voice filled with a sadness that hasn't faded. The story of Diana and Fergie is a powerful reminder of how even the strongest friendships can be fractured by the pressures of public life. If you found this story compelling, please subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell for more deep dives into royal history. And be sure to watch our next video on the screen now, exploring another fascinating chapter from behind the palace walls. In the end, the friendship between Princess Diana and Sarah Ferguson remains one of the great what-ifs of the modern monarchy. They were two young women who found an exhilarating and joyful alliance in the most extraordinary circumstances. Their laughter once echoed through palace halls, a brief rebellion against a world of duty and decorum. The tragedy isn't just that their friendship ended, but that it ended over something so human, so trivial, and so completely fixable. For Sarah Ferguson, the regret of that final, silent year is a burden she carries to this day, a constant, painful reminder of the best friend she lost and the healing conversation they never had.